All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fabulous edition of Speak on a Football Talk. I'm your humble host, Victor Gwynn. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the show, I want you to follow that blue line streaming below us right there. You can call in at 512-539-0686 to be a part of the show. Also, follow us on Facebook at Speak on It Sports. You can also follow us on Twitter at NYG Men for Life and subscribe to the YouTube channel as you see right there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my humble opinion just to say hello to you today and welcome you to the show. If you haven't been on the show before, you're in for a treat today. If you've been on the show before, you know the rules of the show here. We talk football. We love football, not just about the New York Giants. I am a fan of the Giants. You don't have to be. It's all about football. It's all about what you want to talk. It's week 2 in the NFL. But before we go to week 2, I like to go back to week 1 and look at what we've done in our week previous. So let's go back and discuss all the wins, all the losses that took place last week. So let's go to Thursday night, August 11th. Excuse me. So let's go back to the hold on, schedule here. Last week's games. Week 1. Excuse me. I went to preseason 1. Let me go to week 1. I don't know how your team fared, but my team came out 1-0. All right, Thursday night, we all know the Buffalo Bills destroyed the Rams. I'm not going to go over that game. Sunday's game, the New Orleans Saints beat the Atlanta Falcons by 1 point. We all know the Falcons decided to recreate the Super Bowl and give up a lot of points at the end. The Browns held on against the raging Panthers, who came back. Spoiled homecoming for Baker Mayfield. It was a last-second field goal that secured the win for the Browns. 49ers beat the Bears in 49ers lost to the Bears in Chicago, and it was a rainy day in Chicago. Chicago ended up winning 19-10. Justin Fields had an okay day. It was very dreary there, a lot of rain. Pittsburgh Steelers end up beating the Cincinnati Bengals in overtime. If you didn't notice last week, there was a lot of special teams errors, mainly with the kickers. Cincinnati lost. They should have won it in regulation and in overtime, but the Steelers kicker ended up being the best kicker of that game and won it for the Steelers. Excuse me. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Let me tell you something. Detroit Lions got a lot of moxie. Detroit Lions were losing this game by a lot, end up losing by 3 to the Philadelphia Eagles, 38-35. A lot of things happened in this game. Jordan Davis was out in this game, not injured, but every time he went out, the Detroit Lions averaged a lot of yards per run in this game when he was in, 2.6. So think about that. But they pulled out the win nonetheless. They're 1-0, and the Detroit Lions are 0-1. Hard Knocks did them justice. It was a great episode of Hard Knocks with the Detroit Lions. Moving on to the Colts. The Colts and Texans end up tying. Lovie Smith decided to punt the ball away instead of going for it. A tie is a tie. They're both 0-1. Patriots got not destroyed, but it didn't look like themselves. Patriots lost to the Dolphins 20-7. Tua Tagovailoa, he fared okay. He didn't come out as we thought that he would, or some probably thought that he would come out that way. But all in all, he had an okay game. The new head coach for the Dolphins. End up winning this game against Bill Belichick. At the end of the game, it was a little bit dicey. A lot of people were talking about Bill Belichick and his post-game handshake with the new Dolphins head coach. It was a little bit very, very shaky. It was one of those real quick handshakes. Yeah, let's go on, because they're on to the next team. After that, you have the Baltimore Ravens. They basically beat up on a Zach Wilson-less New York Jets team. They had the former quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Flacco, throwing the ball. Lamar Jackson came out, had a good game in my opinion. They won 24-9. Lamar's betting on himself this year. Turned down that $200-something million deal with $130 million guaranteed. He's betting on himself this season. He's playing under the franchise tag. I believe it's $23 to $32 million. I'm not too sure, guaranteed for this year. Moving on to the Jaguars and the Commanders. Commanders end up winning this game. 4 touchdown passes thrown by Carson Wentz. We're going to see what's going to transpire this week with Commanders. Jaguars, they're the Jaguars. They have a lot of growing up to do, but they lost to the Commanders. New York Giants won by 1 point, shut down. In my opinion, Derrick Henry only had 80-something yards. Saquon Barkley reemerged as a threat in the run game with 164 total yards, over 200-something yards from scrimmage. Saquon Barkley put himself in the category again as one of the top rushers in the NFL. Daniel Jones threw 1 interception, had a touchdown pass to Sterling Shepard, which opened up the game for the New York Giants. We're going to see what's going to happen to them today. Kansas City Chiefs Sunday, 44-21, beat the Arizona Cardinals. 44-21. This game wasn't even close. The score isn't indicative of how far away this game was from them. Arizona Cardinals. If you look at this team right now, and you ask yourself, why did that team have this clause in there for Kyler Murray as far as him watching video or watching tape? And a lot of people I actually thought the same thing. Why would they have this in there? And if you look at the tape, Kyler Murray doesn't understand. In my opinion, he doesn't know how to read blitz coverages or teams that change coverages, or he doesn't know how to set up a hot, because there was a lot of times you had a free blitzer coming in and Kyler Murray didn't change the protection. So maybe the Arizona Cardinals had a reason for putting that clause in the contract. But due to public scrutiny, they ended up taking it out, and basically, he was left to his own vices to actually, fail in that category. Moving on to the Raiders and the Chargers. Chargers beat the Raiders 24-19. Again, defense was a big deal in this right now. You had a guy in Khalil Mack who actually came out and basically, destroyed his own team, and Bosa as well. The Packers and the Vikings. The Vikings came out, basically established themselves as the lead dog in the NFC North, especially with Aaron Rodgers claiming that, he is the man in the NFC North. He hasn't thrown an interception in the NFC North in like 5 years or something like that, but he did last week against the Minnesota Vikings. And the Minnesota Vikings looked pretty good last week. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys. Need I say more? Cowboys were the only team in the NFL who did not score a touchdown last week. They only scored 3 points. And they lost Dak Prescott in the process with a thumb injury. He underwent surgery on that injury. Jerry Jones is very optimistic about Dak Prescott coming back. He said 4 weeks. Let's get our collective minds together and ignore whatever Jerry Jones says. Dr. Chow, basically injury doctor for the NFL, said this is an injury that's going to basically take at least 7 to 8 weeks, and that's not including rehab, from my understanding. So you're going to have Cooper Rush there, Cowboys fans, for a little bit. Your schedule is a little bit, it's a little weak enough for you guys to actually fare until Dak gets back, but you guys your defense is going to have to play well. And CeeDee Lamb, who they said is going to be a number one wide receiver, has to play as a number one receiver. And without Amari Cooper, he's getting all the attention, and you got to understand that when you got to be the man, you got to be the man. You know what I mean? So moving on to Monday Night Football, the Broncos played the Seahawks. Russell Wilson came back to his hometown of Seattle and lost by 1 point. Apparently, the Broncos get to the 3-yard line and don't know how to score. They were there twice, fumbled twice. It was just very, very odd. Geno Smith actually had a really good game in this. I was sort of surprised by Geno Smith's poise. I think it's more of his not wanting to play second fiddle to Russell Wilson and to spoil that homecoming for Russell Wilson. We'll see how he fares today, but that was a game that, in my opinion, the Broncos should have won. It was more of the running backs not coming through. A lot of people say it was Russell Wilson. No, it was the running backs who didn't do their job. And Thursday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs looked like they were going to lose this game. You had Justin Herbert. He was taking on all cylinders till he got that injury. Apparently, it's some cartilage issue that he has in his ribs. But the Chiefs end up, pulling this win out. And what can you say? Patrick Mahomes is who he is. He's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a guy who, when chaos, as soon as he's calm in the pocket, he's able to get the ball out. His wide receivers end up playing good. However, it was more the run game and the running backs who helped him out in this game. I'd like to see more of Juju Smith-Schuster. I'd like to see more of Valdez-Scantling get involved in this. And, you have an ailing tight end. I think he has an injury, but, it is what it is. That guy is his safety net. But they won nonetheless, 27-24, and they beat the Chargers. They're going to be off this weekend. They don't play till next weekend, and so do the Chargers since they play Sunday and Thursday. Chiefs are 2-0. Chargers are 1-1. All right, now let's get back to what we got going on today. Let's get back to week 2 in the NFL. Week 2 in the NFL, you got the Dolphins and the Ravens right now, okay? All right, so Dolphins and Ravens, Lamar Jackson, M&T Bank Stadium. The Dolphins are coming there to play. All right, the last time this team met, the Dolphins beat them 22-10. Wasn't good for Lamar Jackson. But I think it's going to be a change for the better. Dolphins are 22nd in offense. Ravens are 25th. Dolphins are 20th in defense. Ravens are 30th. Dolphins are 13th in passing. Ravens are 19th. Dolphins are 20th in rushing. Ravens are 30th. However, you have the great equalizer in Lamar Jackson. Devin Duvernay in that running game. And you have Tua Tagovailoa, who's basically, in my opinion, he is someone who's a little bit iffy. Granted, you have the Cheetah, you have Waddle, you have all these weapons, but can you get these weapons involved? Tua, can you get these guys clicking in all cylinders? Have you mastered this offense? Apparently, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, but the head coach is like, hey, man, this offense. Just go out and play. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just play. The pressure's already there. It's already there. Just play, okay? And Lamar Jackson is a guy who just plays the game as if he's in his backyard. And whenever that team is clicking, it's because Lamar's clicking, okay? But once its team isn't clicking, Lamar Jackson, isn't clicking. And that's a big deal because no one's going to be able to come in and change the game for Lamar other than Lamar Jackson. I have the Ravens winning this game. I'll tell you why as I go through everything here today. All right, next up, you have the Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Okay, all right. The Jets are at
the New York Jets hit the road for
First
week 2,
Energy
still
Stadium.
in search of win 1.
They're at First Energy Stadium. They're going to play the Browns. The Jets are 15th in offense. Browns are 17th, 25th in defense. The Jets. The Browns are 3rd in defense. Jets are 7th in passing. Browns are 31st in passing. Kobe Brissett. Jets are 22nd in rushing. The Browns are 3rd in rushing. I mean, you have, you got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I mean, that whole offensive line. I mean, they're going to run the ball tremendous amount today. Last time this team met was December 26, 2020, where the Jets won 23-16. I don't think this game is even close today. I think the Browns run this ball down the Jets' throat, play action pass. Jacoby Brissett is going to be who he is. He's a stout vet. He's very crafty. He's not going to put you in a bad situation. I think Joe Flacco is just going to be too statuesque in the pocket today, and I believe that pass rush is going to get to him. I just think Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Ernest Johnson, they got three-headed monster at the running back position for the Cleveland Browns. I think it's going to be a big problem for the Jets, and they're going to wear it down. I have Cleveland winning this game today in Cleveland. All right, moving on to Washington and Detroit. Washington, Detroit. Hold on a second. You're going to hear a boop, 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 come up. So Washington and Detroit. All right, Commanders are 11th in offense. Lions are 12th in offense. Commanders are 32nd in defense. And the Lions are 6th in defense. 5th in passing are the Commanders, 21st are the Lions, 21st in rushing. Commanders, and 6th in rushing are the Detroit Lions. This game is going to be played in Detroit. Looking at this game right now, last time this team played was November 14, 2020, where the Detroit Lions beat the Commanders 30-27, hard-fought game. This is a game where I am a little – it can go either way, in my opinion. It can go either way. Carson Wentz could have a great game. Carson Wentz could have a bad game. Detroit Lions could come in. They could lose. I mean, it's just weird. I like Detroit in this game because Carson Wentz is just a quarterback of the Commanders. Nothing special about this game. I just think Detroit has a little bit more moxie at home, a little bit more juice. They're going to be hype, and I just think it's going to be a little bit much for the Commanders to deal with at home. All right, moving on to Indy and Jacksonville. Indianapolis at the Jacksonville.
The unbeaten
Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville Jaguars. So, TIAA Bank Field, the Jaguars lost their first game. Indianapolis Colts tied with the Texans last week. Let's go over the stats here. The Colts are 3rd in offense, while the Jaguars are 14th. Colts are 14th in defense, while the Jags are 14th as well. 3rd in passing, while the Jags are 11th in passing. 7th in rushing, while the Jags are 14th in rushing. Let me tell you something. The Jags have a lot of people on offense who are very good. Defensively, they're young. On offense, they're young too. However, the Colts have a lot of veterans on their team. And they have Jonathan Taylor, who's one of the great running backs in the NFL. I think they lean on him today. I think the Colts win. I think Matt Ryan is someone who's going to go out there and he's going to give you what he has. He's a vet in this game, and he's just going to put them in a better situation to win the game. And I think today that, the quarterback for the Jaguars, I think that he's going to be in a situation where he's going to give up some interceptions today to the Colts, and that's going to put them in a bad situation. I had the Colts winning this game. All right, I'm going to skip over Tampa and New Orleans, Carolina and New York. I'm going to come back to them because those are some games I want to really dive into. But New England and Pittsburgh. Let's talk about that. New England is looking totally different right now, and it's mainly because they have a new offensive coordinator, in my opinion. Their offensive coordinator, Scott McDaniel, is basically the head coach of the Raiders now. And you have Joe Judge, and you have the former defensive coordinator and former Detroit Lion head coach in Matt Patricia, and they're alternating plays. Bill Belichick's mixed in there a little bit somewhere, I think, but they're also mixing in some plays together. Last time this team met, they were September 8, 2019, where Pittsburgh lost to the Patriots 33-3. But let's look at the stats. All right. This team is, Pittsburgh, New England's going to be, I believe this game is this game in Pittsburgh? It's at our Sirius Stadium. I think it's at New England at Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's at Pittsburgh. It's not Three Rivers anymore, I guess. So it's at the stadium in Pittsburgh. All right, let's go over the stats here. Patriots are 26 in offense. Steelers 27th. Defensively, Patriots are 22nd. Steelers are 26th. 23rd in passing, Steelers are 24th. 23rd in rushing, Steelers are 26th in rushing. Big news today is the fact that TJ Watt is not going to be in this game. Dealing with a pec injury. They say it's torn, not torn off the pec, but apparently they're looking for him to come back this year. He doesn't need surgery. However, not having TJ Watt in this game is definitely going to allow Mac Jones to pass the ball a little bit better. However, I still have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game. I just think that Mac Jones isn't comfortable with the fact of who's calling the plays in this game. And I just don't think Bill Belichick can coach that out of his quarterback yet. I think it's going to take about 3 or 4 or 5 games for him to get comfortable with the person in his ear. I think it's going to be a close game, but I got the Patriots winning this game, especially at home. All right, Atlanta, LA. Not too much to talk about this game. Rams lost their season opener. Their banner coming up. I mean, it's just not a good look. A lot of things that they're in SoFi Stadium too. They're home. Atlanta Falcons are coming. I'm not too high on Marcus Mariota going against that Rams defense. And this is a game where, let me tell you something. If you're Jalen Ramsey, enough talk today, Jalen. You got to bring your A game, Jalen Ramsey. I'm tired of hearing you talking about, you don't want to give people props and this and that. You got to bring your A game, because the last shutdown corner I remember was Deion Sanders, and I ain't seen nobody close. Well, Darrelle Revis came close, but you are not either one of those guys. All right. The last meeting with this team, Rams won 37-10. That was October 19, 2019. All right, go over some stats. Falcons 7th in offense this year. Rams are 31st. Second defense. Rams are 32nd. Mind you, these are stats right now. These aren't complete stats. These aren't stats that are just, these are stats going on right now. And you see why the Rams are 32nd in defense, the game they played in the opener against the Bills. 18th in passing. Rams are 25th in passing. 5th in rushing. Rams are 32nd in rushing. However, I think the Rams come back this game. I think that Stafford settles down. However, Allen Robinson has to get involved in this game, in my opinion. I mean, they traded for him. They got him from Chicago. He has to put his imprint on this game. Cooper Kupp, we know what he's going to do, but you have to spread the ball around. Tyler Higbee definitely has to get more involved with tight end as well, and the run game has to be more apparent. I'm going to look for the offensive line to do a lot better job. However, Matthew Stafford has to make better decisions as well. Defensively, like I said, Jalen Ramsey, I want to see you move with the best guy today. You have to do it. Tell the coach you have to move with the best guy. All right? Limit half of the field. I don't care if you play quarters coverage, man cover. You got to play man all day. No quarters coverage, no cover 2. Play man coverage with the guy who's the best guy in the opposite field today. And I have the Rams winning this game today. Too easy for the Rams. Seattle, San Francisco, a lot going on in this game today. Geno Smith, like I said, he played well against Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Seahawks are at San Francisco. The stats, like I said, don't listen to the stats right now. They're not full. Seahawks are 29th in offense. 49ers are 20th. Seahawks are 29th in defense. San Francisco's 8th. Seahawks are 27th in passing. San Francisco's 30th. Seahawks are 25th in rushing. San Francisco's 8th in rushing right now. These are first game stats. And if you look, one team is 0-1 and the other team is basically 1-0 if you look at that. However, Geno Smith, I really don't have faith in Geno Smith on the road against the 49ers defense, even if they don't have George Kittle. Trey Lance, in my opinion, he's gonna have to just hand the ball off to Debo and let him do his thing. And they got to set him up for success. They don't need this kid throwing deep passes. They need him to dink and dunk, get them down, get get his confidence up, first of all, and then actually get him in the groove of the game, in my opinion. Some rollouts, definitely some screen passes, and have this kid build himself up, build that confidence up, run the ball, and then get some play action passes in. But whoever's the tight end for this game, if Kittle doesn't go, he's a game time decision, needs to give this kid some looks and give him some secure catches so he can build his confidence up. I have Seattle win. I have San Francisco winning this game at home. Not by a lot. I have them winning the game though. All right, Cincinnati at Dallas. Need I say more with this game? All right, Cincinnati needs a get back game because they got destroyed. All right, they got beat up. Last time this team played was 2020, December 12th. Dallas beat them bad, 30-7. Look at the stats right now. Bengals are 6th in offense. Dallas is 30. 7th in defense. Dallas is 27th. 6th in passing. Dallas is 28th. 12th in rushing. Dallas is 27th. And no Dak. A sloppy Zeke. A CeeDee Lamb who is not rose to the occasion of being a number one wide receiver. And other wide receivers that are still out. And, you know, a quarterback who doesn't have that relationship with his tight end like Dak has with his tight end. I just see this being a blowout game, in my opinion. I see the Cincinnati Bengals putting up like 35 points. I may see the Cowboys putting up maybe 14 points at a minimum. At max 14 points. I see Joe Burrow and company doing their thing. I think the defense is gonna put it on Cooper Rush today. Even though Cooper Rush does know this offense, he doesn't have the talent that Dak Prescott has. However, if they win this game, it's going to set them up. But I have the Bengals winning this game very decisively. Houston at Denver. All right, Houston at Denver. Let's go again. Lovie Smith, I love you, Lovie, but you know you played for a tie, bro. You played for a tie. And you showed your team that you don't have no faith in them. Let's go back to the last time this team met, was December 7th, 2019, where Lovie Smith wasn't playing, but December 7th, 2019, 38-24, Denver Broncos won. I think Russell Wilson comes back in this game, and he shows, despite the loss, they should have won that game against Seattle. I think at Denver, I think his first home game, at Empower Field at Mile High, new ownership, the fans seeing Russell cook for the first time. He doesn't even have his best wide receiver, Tim Patrick, who's out for the season with a torn ACL. But I just think Houston doesn't have enough for him. Brandon Cooks, I don't think he's one guy. Patrick Surtain's going to roll with him the whole game. But I think Denver does what it does, and Russ Cooks, I think they win this game too easy. Moving on to Arizona and Las Vegas Raiders. What can I say? Arizona Cardinals got thumped last week, and it's not even funny. All right. Las Vegas Raiders lost last week as well. But I look at the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Arizona Cardinals. I see a totally different team, team in different space right now. Okay, you have an offensive guy and Josh McDaniels, who knows how to rally his team, knows how to set them up for success. And I'm looking at a coach on the other side, the Arizona Cardinals, who just wants to see their quarterback run. I mean, whatever. You got a quarterback who doesn't, in my opinion, study. He doesn't know the game. He's very athletic. Don't get me wrong. The kid is very athletic. I mean, but does he know the game of football the way he should? Is he doing the right thing as a quarterback? He knows how to play the game of football. Don't get me wrong. But does he know the intricate parts of football? Okay. Does he know when that safety comes down in the box that he has a hot read to his left or right, which direction that safety comes in? If there's an overload to the right or left, will he shift his protection to the right or left to pick up that blitzer? All right. Is he going to say, hey, kill that play because they have a blitz on, or they're going into a cover two and I'm going to switch from a pass to a run? Does he know those things? I don't know yet. But 44-21 against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1 tells me he does not know that. I got the Las Vegas Raiders going to this game. winning this game. Plus, they're at home, and they're just coming off a loss. I got the Raiders. Chicago at Green Bay. Justin Fields is coming to his own. However, you got the Green Bay Packers, man, and Aaron Rodgers, who just doesn't have respect for Chicago Bears at all. Last time his team met was December 12th, 2021, where they beat the Chicago Bears 45-30, and it just seemed like it's going to continue, in my opinion, despite the fact that he has young wide receivers, Christian Watson, Alan Lazard. I mean, these guys need to come up clutch for Aaron Rodgers, because he already said it. He's not going to stop playing the way he plays. All right. He's not going to stop playing the way he plays. What he's going to do is he's going to keep doing what he does. You got to, basically come up to his level. All right. You got to play like he plays. You got to, reach your potential. And he's telling all the fans in Green Bay, just relax again. But if you go down 0-2 and you lose against two NFC North teams, you got to start pushing that panic button. In Green Bay. You know what I'm saying, Aaron? I mean, you can't say relax anymore. It's going to be PANIC, panic button. However, I think they get on track here. I think Justin Fields goes up there in Green Bay, and I think he just doesn't. The mystique, Lambeau Field, I think defensively they put him in bad situations to where he can't do what he does. Don't get me wrong, he's going to run today, but he's going to pass the ball. They're going to get some interceptions out of him. And the Packers are going to come away with the win. It's not going to be a blowout, but it's going to be a win today. And the Green Bay Packers are going to win that game. Tennessee at Buffalo. Now, a lot of people are picking the Tennessee Titans to win this game because the Titans, they came out and they got beat up by the New York Giants. Not beat up. I'm not going to say beat up. But they lost against the New York Giants. And they held Derrick Henry down to 82 yards. 82 yards rushing on 20-something carries, all right? Let me tell you something. That's a feat in itself, right? You got a guy like that running downhill on you, and you stop him, and you keep him under 100 yards. I mean, that is tremendous. And the Buffalo Bills, let's see what they can do about that. Right now, the Buffalo Bills are 15th in total defense, all right? They're 15th in rushing, and the Tennessee Titans are 20th in rushing. We're going to see if that 15th and 20th rushing, they're going to clash, okay? Definitely the Titans are like, bewildered because they thought they had that game in the bag. They came back. Giants went for 2, up by 1. They got in field goal range, and the kicker missed it. And it's kind of a letdown, but you move on, right? Buffalo Bills destroyed They destroyed the Rams out of the gate. They're on a high. However, you come with a team who doesn't want to go down 0-2. So is it a team that, is high on a 1 win, or the team that's scared not to go 0-2? I mean, so it's going to be a good game. This is a game to watch right here. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks in this game. Quarterbacks, because I look at Josh Allen getting the ball to Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs just going off in this game. I have the Buffalo Bills winning this game, in my opinion. This is 6:15 p.m. CDT time, Central Daylight Time, which is 7:15 p.m. East Coast time, Eastern Standard Time game tonight. So should be interesting. Very interesting. Moving on to Minnesota, Philly. We talked about this Philadelphia team. Jordan Davis is a big run stopper in the middle. However, they gave up a lot of run yards when he wasn't in the game. And Minnesota, they're 13th in rushing, 9th in passing, 21st in defense, 9th in total offense. Philly's 4th, 14th and 4th. So 4th in offense, 4th in defense, 14th in passing, 4th in rushing. Those rush yards are a little skewed because of their quarterback. He runs a lot. So what's going to have to happen is I'm looking at the Vikings and what they need to do in order to keep Philly's quarterback hurt, in the pocket. You have to contain them. They have to contain him because if he starts running too much, it's going to open up a lot more, and they're going to have to zone him out, and they got to keep a guy in to keep him corralled in the game. Make him pass the ball. Make him actually make passes. Keep him in the pocket. Don't allow his feet to affect the game. Keep him in the pocket. Let him throw those deep passes, and make him be a quarterback. Because right now he's running and having fun. But make him get the ball to his wide receivers and let it be accurate. All right. With regard to the Vikings are doing well. I mean, look, they're throwing the ball around. Kirk Cousins is having the ball. I mean, their wide receiver Richardson, he's living his best life. Everybody's happy there. Running back Dalvin Cook, he's doing what he has to do. I mean, Justin Jefferson, he's the leading. Is he the leading receiver in the league right now? The man had like 100-something yards in the first half or the first. I don't know what quarter it was, but he was cooking last week. He was doing what he needed to do, and it was just pitch and catch with him. Last time this team met, Minnesota won 38-20. That was October 12th, 2019. But today is September 18th, 2022, which was like 3 years ago almost. So we're looking at today. However, I have the Vikings winning this game. And I say that because I just don't think the Eagles, and this is Bradbury, I don't think he's going to be able to stick with Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson is going to get a lot of calls his way, and I don't think that Justin Jefferson is going to allow Bradbury to stay with him all game. I got Vikings winning this game. Not by a lot, but I got Vikings winning this game. So we're going to go back to Tampa Bay, New Orleans. But before we do that, if you got to call in, you know the number, 512-539-0686. Be a part of the show. All right. If you also want to be part of the show, you know the number, or you want to be in Speak on Sports, NYG Men for Life, and subscribe. I just want to put out there, too, I tried to get a lot of the ESPN personalities on this show, right? I tried to talk to, this is for you fans out there. I tried to get Bruce Murray from Sirius NFL Radio. I call the show all the time. If you don't know who Bruce Murray is, he's on Sirius Blitz on the NFL Radio. I call in, told him about the show. Thought he was going to come on. He told me he'd like to come on. They don't come on. So if you know who Bruce is, tell him, hey, Bruce, you need to check out Speak on It Sports, Facebook. You need to get with Victor, get on the show, and see what's going on. I also talked to Lauren Rutledge from NFL Live. I talk to her on TikTok a lot. She has a great page. She's a good person. She's good people. She actually told me to go through her PR department. I went through her PR department, did the right thing, did everything right. PR department never got back to me. So it is what it is, and I just gonna have to do it myself. So it is what it is. That's what we do. All you can do is just extend your hand out and hope that you can get some of those people in, but it is what it is. So if you're out there, if you want to talk, sit and chat with me, let me know. I got some people that are out there. Let me see here. Let me ring up a buddy of mine here. He's usually available.
Hello.
Terrence, what's going on?
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? This is the first time I called you to the show. How you doing?
Ain't bad. I didn't know what time it was, man. I've been cooking wings all morning.
Man, if I wasn't doing the show, I'd be cooking wings too. Man, you ready? You ready for them Commanders to come out today, man?
Am I ready?
Yeah, you ready?
I'm not ready. I don't know. Every week I'm never ready because I never know what Carson Wentz is doing.
Carson Wentz, boy. Carson Wentz. He threw 4 touchdown passes last week. He was pretty good.
He did.
Yeah.
He did, and our defense didn't show up, so we almost blew the game.
This is true.
Instead of allowing Carson Wentz to win the game. That's a scary thought.
Hey, you're playing those Detroit Lions, man, who almost came back last week and won their game.
Really? And I like Detroit. I got Detroit to go to the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on the game today? Is it an easy win for your squad, or are you nervous?
No, I think Detroit's going to be a dogfight all season for everybody. I don't think Detroit's ever been an easy win, though. Even when they were 0-36, they were never an easy win.
They scrappy, right?
Yeah.
It's so scrappy about these guys because, I mean, they got nothing to lose. They got everything to prove and nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And those are the most dangerous people.
I like the new coach. I think they're about to bring on Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman?
Yeah, I think he's about to join the coaching staff.
What, as a DB coach?
Yeah.
Who's the current DB coach right now? Because I know Aaron Glenn's on the squad.
He has all ex-players on his coaching staff.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn is the defense coordinator.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you never know. He may make a move with Deion. Because you know, the old Lions, the old Minnesota coach is down there now.
Man.
The old Minnesota went and joined Deion.
Oh, that's right. He's the defense coordinator for JSU right now.
Yeah.
Wow. And I respect Deion. He's doing such a good job up there at Jackson State University. He's doing a lot. People are hating on him up there because they say that it's all about him and his kids. Let me tell you something. There would not be a Jackson State without the Sanders family, period. All that money they put into it.
He can't. He is balling. He has them kids balling out. I don't know who the young brother was that made Sports Center this morning with the one-handed behind the ear hole grab.
Yeah.
4 feet above the head.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
But now the question is, are scouts going to take him serious though?
And that's the thing, right? The scouts, and he already scolded the NFL teams last time for not coming to his school when they did the combine up there. He said 24 teams come up here. Last time I checked, there's 32. He scolded him for that.
But you got to respect the program. They got good coaches out there.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I know he's making calls. I know he's calling Jerry Jones saying, "Hey, Jerry, I got a guy."
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He's definitely got, I mean, he got a little inside, like, especially with that wide receiver that he got out there. That wide receiver, Jerry Jones is keeping the ends on that. Like, hey, Deion, let me look at this kid.
You talking about Hunter?
Yeah, Travis Hunter. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
He got Deion's first line with that guy. Hey, Deion, let me know the scoop on this kid right here, man. Let me know.
I think his son may go.
Whoa.
If his son keeps balling out, his son may be a late draft pick.
Shador?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, he's been balling out this year.
Hey, so what game intrigues you this week, and what game are you looking at as a surprise game? A team that's going to surprise everybody. What game are you looking forward to, and what's a surprise game?
I want to see the Patriots.
You see the Patriots?
I want to see the Patriots.
That's going to be an interesting game to me because there's a lot going on with the Patriots. The offense, in my opinion, is not where it needs to be, and Pittsburgh doesn't have their defensive star on the field today.
I believe Pittsburgh wins.
Me too. I believe they win as well.
But I'm telling you, I think it's the end of the Belichick era.
You ain't lying, bro, because this is the thing. When the last time Bill Belichick had a good wide receiver?
Terrell Owens.
No, Bill Belichick. You mean Randy Moss?
Randy Moss, yeah.
Yeah. And you can even say Julian Edelman, right? Right? Let's say Julian Edelman. N'Keal Harry, I knew that was a mistake when he picked him up out of Arizona State. I knew that was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you had Chad Johnson, but we found out that Chad couldn't read playbook.
Hey, you realize that I was listening to Sports Center, not Sports Center, but NFL something game day. You know that AJ Brown wanted to go to the Patriots?
I heard that.
He said that he was crying because N'Keal Harry went before him in the draft. He cried, literally, he said. He said, I cried, man. I was like, wow.
But people don't understand that culture of it because it's whatever Belichick says.
This is true. This is true.
Brady talked about it. It's not the best.
Yeah, you got to be strong-minded up there. You got to have a strong mind up there, man. You have a strong mind. It's all about the Belichick way. It's the Patriot way. It's not about what's going on with how you feel, about your stats. You know? So what do you think about Tampa Bay and the Saints today? Saints had Tom Brady's number, man, for the longest.
Tom Brady wins.
Oh my God, you got Tom Brady winning today?
Tom Brady wins.
In what they're not at Tampa, are they? They in New Orleans.
Tom Brady wins.
In New Orleans?
Did I tell you?
Go ahead. Tell me.
I don't believe Tom makes it the whole season without taking some more time off.
Okay.
But Tom Brady has to prove something after last week. That they almost lost to a Dallas team that looked so horrible.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's got to prove that he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's still trying to fight that Bill Belichick built Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, I thought he knocked that down when once he won a Super Bowl, but
he did knock it down, but he didn't dismantle it.
He didn't dismantle it. There's still a lot of questions, huh? Tom still can't do this. Tom still can't do that.
I don't like to see Todd Bowles win a championship. As much as I don't want to see Brady win another one, I like to see Todd get one.
Yeah, you're right. He got one, but like not as a head coach though, right?
Yeah.
People say, yeah, Todd got one though, but not as a head coach though. It's different to win one as a defensive coordinator versus winning it as a head coach, right? Once you win one as a head coach, you're kind of distinguished in the NFL.
I think he needs one. I think he deserves one.
You kind of separate yourself. He's been on a lot of teams, man.
I think him and Raheem Morris deserve a head coaching championship.
Hey, tell me what you think about Lovie Smith going for the tie last week.
Lovie's smart. Because the tie is just like a win in the standings.
It's not a loss either, you know?
It's not a loss.
So you basically have 50. You have 16 game season now, right? Basically, right?
Yeah, that tiebreaker has a major effect when you know what I mean, when you come down to, getting in the playoffs and all that stuff, who can get in and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
That tiebreaker holds major weight. And people don't think that, but that tiebreaker holds major weight.
Definitely. So, hey, before you came on, Terrence, I was telling the viewers that, look, hey, I tried to get some ESPN talent to come on the show so you guys could ask them some questions. I was talking to Sirius NFL radio personality Bruce Murray, because I call into Sirius a lot, and I talk to Bruce. Yeah, I'm going to come on your show, Victor. I like the way you talk. I want to hear what you got to say. Didn't come on the show, right? And also Laura Rutledge. I don't know if you know who Laura Rutledge is. She's on NFL Live. She's really a good person. She's really good people. I like Laura. She actually told me, hey, go through my PR department. I went through her PR department, didn't hear a word back from them. So I'm trying to get some talent on here to get some better, content or whatever. And it's hard to get some people through it. So I'm telling everybody on the show, at Bruce Murray NFL on Twitter, talk to Bruce Murray and Laura Rutledge and tell them about the show. I'm going to post it up here. Get these guys knowing about the show to get them on and see what they say about coming on the show and just being a part of the show. You know what I mean? So you guys could ask him some questions as well. Bruce Murray's a pretty good dude too. Because I want you guys to have the best opportunity to talk to some real NFL heads and some real folks out there. You know what I mean? I posted up their stuff right there.
So, what do you think about the Chargers Chiefs game?
What's that?
What do you think about the Chargers Chiefs game?
The Chargers Chiefs game? Let me tell you, that game.
Yeah.
There was one particular thing in that game, Terrence. Let me tell you. Remember the point where the quarterback Justin Herbert got hurt, right? Remember that? He came back, got up, and the next play he tried to run, but he couldn't, and he had to throw the ball. But he was like 3 yards away from a first down.
Yeah.
I was looking like, why didn't he just run that? He was that hurt. He was that hurt. I was like, wow. But then he ended up throwing a dime. After that. I was like, wow.
But you know what it goes now. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it goes to question these athletic trainers and these doctors. Because you see Tyrod Taylor's lawsuit that just became public when he had that punctured lung, and he's suing that doctor for he had a cracked rib and he had a punctured lung, and then now he's suing the doctor charges
for $5 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you question, are these doctors really looking at them, or are they just sending them back in the game?
Well, and this is another thing that the NFL has to look at as far as injuries go. Do they sacrifice these guys' bodies, or is it they're trying to take care of these guys? And then that goes down a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of other stuff of, in my opinion, why these guys they want money up front. They want a lot of money because they know that the NFL ownership looks at them as basically property. And if your property is not yielding you some type of return or ROI, return on investment, what are you going to do? You're basically going to get rid of it, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to ride that product until it fails. So it's iffy with me with that, because you got to take care of the guy. And in my opinion, I don't think they took care of Tyrod Taylor, especially with a rib injury he had, and they told him he was good, and it ended up being worse. I hope they don't do the same thing with Justin Herbert.
And then you had what's the Chargers for the bad? Yeah. It's just you just wonder. You had it in Washington a couple years ago with Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. That was in Washington, right?
Yep, and that's why he wouldn't re-sign with Washington, because he wanted the whole medical staff fired.
Yeah. That's why these guys have they look for the team to actually provide them with the medical expertise that is required. And that's why a lot of them they go to get expert opinions outside of the team, because they know the team has those team doctors. They don't work for them, they work for the team. And they look for the team. They're in the team's best interest, not your best interest. So those guys need to have outside people looking at them. Hey, can I go? Can I play? How long am I supposed to sit out? What do I need to do to get back in shape? How long is this supposed to take to heal? You get other opinions. You got to go outside the team, because Hey, so talk to me about Trey Lance, man. They're giving this guy a lot of bad press for a guy who hasn't played. Trey Lance, the guy hasn't been able to play. He had Jimmy G right behind him still, and he's out there one game, and he's not ready, right?
He's not ready.
But what do they do to get him ready? Keep playing him, or just keep pulling him back?
Unfortunately, I think these guys are just fit.
What's that?
I think they're just fit.
You don't think he's a fit?
I think he should sit. I think he needs to sit there and let Jimmy G.
I think he needs to
I
sit.
don't think Trey is ready because I don't think Trey wants to a big enough program.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think he had enough time to actually, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are saying that they should have picked up Justin Fields instead of him. You know what? A lot of ifs and buts. If was a fifth, we all be drunk, right? You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know, this decisions you got that they made as a team, you have to get them ready. And Kyle Shanahan is supposed to be a quarterback guru or, you know, quarterback whisperer or genius. Then they got to do what they got to do to get this guy ready. And
I think they picked him. They picked him so early, and now they didn't want Jimmy G, and now he's a must play.
Exactly, and he's not ready to come on and throw. He's not ready to get an NFL game right now. He is not ready, in my opinion.
The game is too fast.
Yeah, the game is too fast for him.
I mean, you saw the same thing with Wentz.
Yes, definitely. So another thing is this: Lamar Jackson. Give me your opinion. Should Lamar Jackson be playing on his last year of his contract or the franchise tag right now? Should he be playing on that last year?
Yeah. They're not franchise tag.
Well, he said he's not going to play on that franchise tag. But should he be playing this year? Should he have taken that deal?
He's gonna have to play on the franchise tag because he's not going to lose that money. And they're not going to do another Deshaun. Nobody's going to do another Deshaun Watson.
You don't think so?
Nah, not where you sit out for all that time and then you want to come back. And you got Deshaun sitting out almost a whole nother year.
So the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL in 2022 right now. So let's look at this. I think we discussed this last time. Who are the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL? Due to salary, right? So right now, Aaron Rodgers is making $50.3 million. That's 3 years, $150 million contract, right? Russell Wilson, $49 million, 5 years, $245 million contract, right? Kyler Murray, $46.1 million, 5 years, $230 million contract. Deshaun Watson, $46 million, 5 years, $230 million contract. But guarantees is definitely Deshaun Watson. But let me tell you something. When you have, I'm gonna go down here, right? When you have guys like Trevor Lawrence making more money than Lamar Jackson right now.
But Trevor's on a rookie deal. So you got, and then Lamar doesn't last with his rookie deal.
That's crazy.
So, I think Trevor's rookie deal was front end loaded. Lamar's was back end loaded.
Yeah. Wow.
So contract for contract, I think Lamar got more than Trevor did.
Yeah, contract for contract. But I'm looking at guaranteed money right now. Deshaun Watson, look, most guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson, $230 million. Kyler Murray, why is Kyler Murray getting paid $100? He's guaranteed $189 million. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz is getting paid more than getting paid more than Lamar Jackson. Wow. That is just.
I mean, Baltimore's gonna let him walk.
And that's the thing too. I think Baltimore's gonna let him walk. And I think a team. I don't know what team it is. I'm looking right now. I'm looking through my Rolodex here of teams.
I can tell you, neither one of us don't want it.
You better not say Dallas. You better not say Dallas, because I don't think they're gonna do it. They don't give Dak too much money.
Yeah, and they will walk away from Dak in a heartbeat.
Don't say they get rid of Dak in a heartbeat, huh?
Yeah.
He can't go back to Houston. He's not going to Cincy. Can't go to San Francisco. Can't go to Seattle. He can go to Seattle, but Seattle's already there. You know, they're not going to do that. Arizona, Las Vegas, Chicago, no. Green Bay, no. Tennessee, no. Buffalo, no. Minnesota, no. Philly, no. Los Angeles Chargers, no. KC, no. I mean, Washington, no. Detroit, maybe, but he ain't going there. Jacksonville, they already got. Indy, they just got Matt. New Orleans got Jameis. He can go to New Orleans if they get rid of Jameis. Tampa Bay has Tom. Carolina, they got Baker Mayfield, just picked up his contract. The Giants, if they stink this year, they have a chance to get rid of Daniel Jones. But the Giants are an organization. They don't give out $230 million guaranteed contracts. So that's not going to happen. Miami, New York Jets, no. Cleveland, no. Washington, no. Detroit, maybe. I don't know where he's going to go. You said
Philly?
You said
Philly?
Yeah.
You go to Philly?
Philly? Man, if he goes to Philly, they're going to be dangerous, man.
Philly will give up Jalen. Philly will get rid of Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat for Lamar Jackson. They don't believe in Jalen.
And draft picks, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Jalen, what has Jalen done? He's not putting up numbers like they believe he should. He's a one-read quarterback.
This is true, and he runs the ball a tremendous amount. And that's what skews their rushing yards a lot as well.
You know, Tampa's an ideal landing spot. Tom's done. 1 year, Tom is done. Gisele's not doing it again.
Yeah, apparently. And I don't like to speak on nobody's relationship. I'm just saying what there was out there, that they're staying in separately. It might be because he's in camp or something like that, but Mama Bear wants Papa Bear home, and you know it is what it is. And Mama Bear wins all the time, man. It is what it is. Wifey's gonna win all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, Tampa's a landing spot, Philly's a landing spot, Dallas is a landing spot,
New York.
New York's a landing, both New York.
I don't know. Zach Wilson. They drafted a guy in Zach Wilson already, man. I don't know.
Unless Zach's hurt again and he's out again.
He's hurt. Yeah, he is hurt again. We'll definitely see with that. But I don't know. Commanders may. I don't know. Carson Wentz got a hefty contract too.
No, we're not spending that money.
We
got to renew our whole defense. We can't afford to go pay for a quarterback.
They're not spending that money on another quarterback, are they?
Yeah.
They're not definitely spending that money on another quarterback. It's going to be weird. So.
Seattle maybe.
Seattle's another thing. But this is the thing. Why did they keep Russell Wilson? If it was all about the money, he wanted less money. Is it because he's older? I don't know. He can't go back to Houston.
They said Russell and Pete had a problem though.
Yeah. Because Pete likes to run the ball.
Somebody gone.
Yeah, Pete likes to run the ball. Russell doesn't like to run the ball. We'll definitely see what's going to happen with that. We'll definitely see.
I mean, Oakland.
Well, that's a friendly contract. They can get rid of him after this year, which is crazy. And they won't take a big hit. They will not take a big hit.
You know, I mean, there are some squads out there that would make the move to get him.
And this is the thing, salary cap goes up next year, I believe. Salary cap goes up next year.
Indy or New Orleans.
Yeah, let me see. 2023 NFL salary cap.
Ryan. What does Matt Ryan got left?
Matt Ryan is crazy. So the salary, how much space is salary? So the salary cap is going to be $225 million next year versus 2022.
So think about this one. So we were just talking about Trey Lance, right?
$17 more million next year. Yeah.
So we're just talking about Trey Lance. San Francisco Trey Lance.
Uh-huh.
And a first-round pick to Baltimore for Lamar.
Trey Lance, first-round pick.
There may be a high first-round pick for Lamar to make that same move like the Rams did to go for the gusto.
I think it's going to be a first-round pick this year, next year, and something else to get Lamar and give up Trey Lance. Definitely.
I think it'll take probably a first and a second, and they'll swap later round picks.
Yeah. And maybe more. I mean, because the team may be excited to get Lamar. They may be really excited to get
He's not
Lamar.
going to play. He says he's not going to come. He's not going to show. I mean, what do you do then?
Well, the first thing you do is this: before you trade for Lamar, they have to have a contract signed in hand that he's comfortable with. Not signed, but contract he's comfortable with. Because there's nothing like trading for a guy and he doesn't want to sign the contract you have in front of you, and you fall into the same issue that they have. So he's going to have a contract that he's willing to sign. He said, "Look, Lamar, I got $225 million guaranteed. Hey, you can get an extra $5 million if you win the MVP. Take us to the Super Bowl." There it is. And this is the thing: if he goes to San Francisco, that's a perfect. Him and Deebo Samuels, that's a match made in heaven. He has the tight end he needs. He has the defense he needs, and he has. I mean, it's a perfect running system for him and Kyle Shanahan. That is perfect.
You know it's a nice fit for him too?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
And that's a perfect fit for him too, because he has a running game, he has a defense. I mean, think about it. Lamar Jackson, I think, is a better fit for San Francisco. He has a running game where Deebo Samuels can run a lot for him, plus him running the ball, passing the ball. He has a tight end in George Kittle. I mean, him in San Francisco would be ridiculous. Just imagine Lamar Jackson in San Francisco running the ball. You don't even know. Imagine the RPO with him and Deebo Samuel. You don't even know what's going to happen. Him, Deebo Samuel, I mean, it is ridiculous. And George Kittle. Wow, something else.
It'd be massive.
That'll be crazy. All right. Before I let you go, Terrence, I know you got some chicken wings you got to make. You got to finish. Upset of the day.
I ain't stopped cooking yet.
Upset of the day, Terrence. Upset of the day. Who is it? Who's your upset of the day?
It may be, I don't know if you're going to call it upset. Miami over Baltimore.
That is a big upset.
And heck, you may see Detroit over Washington.
That's my upset of the day right there. Detroit over Washington. And I say that because the only reason I say that is because they're at home. They're at home, and Carson Wentz doesn't deal with pressure well. And I think that defense is going to pressure him today. The only reason they lose today, Detroit, is if they make silly mistakes, man. And I'm talking about penalties after the play, false starts, running to the kicker, stuff like, running.
Carson Wentz, though.
Huh?
If you get the good Carson Wentz, you overcome all that.
the good Carson Wentz. You talking about Jekyll and Hyde? You talking about Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah. You gotta get the Carson Wentz that was, had the food truck in Philly and was donating to the homeless and was out there, praising God and.
You said the food truck in Philly.
Shaking hands and kissing babies. You get that Carson Wentz.
Shaking hands and kissing babies. That Carson Wentz, huh? That was that Super Bowl bound Carson Wentz, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Shaking hands, kissing babies, giving out turkeys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We shall see. But we sharing the same brain on that, because I wanted to see. I think Detroit might have their number today, man. I think Detroit might have their number today.
And people don't believe me. Detroit's a scary good team.
And it's scary because, like I said, they have nothing to lose. And this is the thing, that linebacker, you see what he did to Travis Kelce? Not Travis Kelce, but Travis Kelce's brother. What's his little I forgot his name. Rambo. They call him Rambo on Hard Knocks. Man, he tossed. That kid is crazy good as a linebacker. Crazy good as a linebacker. Slammed him up, man. Crazy good. And they're gonna make noise. But something about
Flacco making his first win of the day.
something about Dan Campbell's style of coaching, though. It just kind of, I like it a little bit, but sometimes it gets overbearing. Like, okay, the rah-rah stuff is good, but sometimes you just got to coach, man.
See, I like this stuff. I think he's a player's coach because he has such good assistants around him.
There you go. Because I guess you're right. I guess he could be that player's coach because he has a lot of ex-pros around him. You know, you got Deuce Staley around him, Aaron Glenn, and then you got Scott Pioli. I mean, the guy freaking was a GM, giving him advice, and then you got, you know, other guys around him. Like, you put that camera on him, man, and he just starts freaking talking fast before his brain assesses what it needs to assess. And he just starts spouting off stuff. It's kind of weird. But we all get excited.
You got Deuce Staley on that staff?
Yeah, man. And then running backs is good. DeAndre Swift is good. I like Jamal Williams, former Green Bay Packer. I don't know why they got rid of him. He was good. Yeah, they're a feisty bunch, man. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's good, man. His dad, you know his father? Did you realize Amon St. Brown and Equanimous St. Brown, their dad was a bodybuilder?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until I saw Hard Knocks. What's that?
I want to listen to Dan Campbell's staff. This is how crazy it is.
Yeah. Shoot.
Deuce Staley.
Uh-huh.
Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Glenn.
Yep.
Dave Fleet.
Yeah.
Wayne Blair.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell.
Yeah, Mark Brunell. Wow.
Steve Oliver.
Yep.
John Morton.
Uh-huh.
Hank Franley.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Antoine Randall L.
Yes, right. Antoine Randall L.
Jeff Ryan. Kevin Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Thomas. Todd Wash. Mike Clark. I mean, you name everybody's a player, but Dan Campbell.
No, Dan Campbell was a tight end.
Yeah. But Dan Campbell wasn't an all-star. Dan Campbell was like
He's a tight end for my Giants, baby.
Yeah, he was there, but I put Dan when you compare everybody else, Dan Campbell was like
he was like a second string guy. I got you. He was
like what's the ball boy's father?
He was the water boy.
Yeah, Dan Campbell was like the ball father. You know, Lonzo's ball father.
Oh God. Oh, that's messed up. You said Alonzo Ball's father.
Yeah. Dan Campbell was like his father.
Oh, that's messed up.
Behind him.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh, that's messed up. He scored like, you say he had like 2 points or whatever, right? And he had a triple single, like Barkley said.
He had a successful career.
Yeah, he did.
He built. I mean, nothing away from him because he was a good. He wasn't a great tight end. But
he was a durable. He was a durable tight end. Yeah, he was a durable tight end.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And he knew when it was his time to go, and he made his way up the ranks of the coaching tree.
Yeah, I mean, he worked through what he needed to do.
But what he did was he gave all the ex-players that wanted to be coaches a chance to become coaches.
And that's true, man.
Guys that have been coaching.
Like Aaron Glenn, I didn't think Aaron Glenn was going to be a defensive coordinator. Like I thought he may have been like a cornerbacks coach, but Aaron Glenn was like a defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn played for the Jets and the Patriots, didn't he?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, Ben Johnson, wasn't he a Cowboys lineman?
This is true. This is true.
Deuce Staley, one of the best backs that played, that played in
Played for Philly.
In his era.
Played for Philly. Couldn't stand going against him as a Giants fan. That joke was thick.
Mark Brunell. You can't have a better career than Mark Brunell had.
Yeah, Mark Brunell in an expansion NFL organization. Actually started that. He actually was there with Fred Taylor. They started Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Antoine Randall L.
They went to an AFC Championship game. There was an AFC Championship game. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Jacksonville almost had a championship.
Yep. Wow. With Tom Coughlin. Wow. I remember that. Interesting stuff. All right, man. Hey, I'm going to let you go, man. It's almost football time. Hey, I appreciate you joining the program, brother. Always love. Hey, I got your message. The 23rd?
Yeah.
The 23rd. I will be there. I signed up for it. I'm gonna be there on the 23rd for you. I'll definitely be there.
So I think this is gonna be some fun times coming up. I think it's gonna be a great season. What's the Giants gonna do? The Giants winning?
Man, the Giants gonna win today, man. Like I said, it's not gonna be a blowout. The Giants are gonna win today. It's gonna be we got to play mistake free. We got a lot of guys that are out. Aaron Robinson is out, one of our cornerbacks. Darnay Holmes is a quarterback who has he has a long way to go, man. And on our defense, we have to be able to hold the line of scrimmage against the wide receivers because Wink Martindale, he likes to go zero blitz. And with zero blitz, the quarterback has to at least hold the wide receiver. You can't get beat off the line of scrimmage, basically, right? And we got Kayvon Thibodeau back. Azeez Ojulari, I don't know if he's going to be back today. He was doubtful. But we got to get some pass rush today. Our run defense was great last week against Derrick Henry. It's going to have to be even better today because you got McCaffrey. The kid loves to run screens. He's very slippery. He's not as powerful as Derrick Henry, but he's slippery and he's quick. So we got to eliminate him out there. And we got to get to Baker Mayfield, man. The guy can sling the ball, and he's very feisty. And the Giants are going to have to do what they need to do. But also, their wide receivers out there, we're going to have to corral them too, man. There's a lot going on. But Daniel Jones today can't have mistakes like he had last week. And I believe Saquon Barkley is going to continue what he's going to do today. And
that boy's a beast.
Man, he was beasting up last week, wasn't he? He did his thing last week. And imagine if we started off well. We didn't start off well last week, the Giants. Started third quarter. That's when that run happened, like 12:45 in the third quarter. That's when Saquon Barkley hit that about 70, 75-yard, 80-yard run. And that's when we started clicking, But I do like our coaching staff, and I like the fact that Brian Daboll was like, he put it on the team. He said, hey, if we score, I'm going for 2. You guys are with that. And they were like, hell yeah, coach. Well, they didn't say hell yeah. They said, yeah, coach, we're with that. Let's do it. And they did it.
I'm pretty sure they didn't say that either. I'm pretty sure
Exactly, right? They was like, hell yeah, coach, we let's do it. Because 1, there was hype, but the coach knows 2, we can't stop them like that. So we got to do what we got to do to put ourselves ahead, And they did what they needed to do. And I got to see Golladay do better, man. Golladay, to me, he's a $72 million nightmare. $72 million nightmare right now for the New York Giants. I see him do well. And for also our first round draft pick, the kid out of Florida, he's always hurt. I don't know what he's doing. Hamstring. What is this kid doing?
Is that Tony or whatever his name is?
Kadarius Toney. I mean, the kid is hurt all the time. His hamstring. I'm gonna need this kid to get better.
Yeah, I had to drop him. I picked him up in fantasy. I had to let him go.
I put him on the bench. I put Kadarius Toney, if you're out there right now, I'll put you on the bench because you need to show me that you need to do better.
I put him on the waiver wire.
You said you put him on a waiver wire? He probably sitting on a bus stop waiting for a trailways so he can get himself back together. I need to see him do better. I need to see him do better. Sterling Shepard came off the bench scoring a touchdown. Come on, man. Torn ACL, whatever, came off the bench. I need to see our tight ends do a little bit better today. If you watch today, right? If you watch the game today, our right tackle, we drafted Evans out of Alabama. He gave me some. I was a little worried last week for him. He likes to reach his arms out. He reaches, and people just slap his arms away. He was not very good last week. I think he had a PFF rating. What's that?
I didn't get all the Giants games. You stream them?
No, man, I got Sunday ticket.
Oh, okay.
I got Sunday ticket. It's going away though. Sunday ticket. I don't know what's going on, but it's going away. But yeah, it's watch. If you see this game, you stream it or whatever. I mean, I'm gonna watch him specifically today. I'm watching Evans today, and I'm gonna watch him because, like I said, I watched last week, and plus I have the NFL Plus. You could actually go back and get the all 22 tape, and I watched him specifically, and I watched how he blocked. And I didn't like it because he leaned as a tackle. You don't lean forward because all your weight's forward. And somebody just tips you over. He just kept falling.
Yeah.
And this is in pass pro. This is in pass block. Didn't like it. Run blocking a lot better. Pass pro, he was not that good. You can see what I'm talking about. All right, hey, before I let you go, man. Hey, for the record, let everybody know what kind of chicken wings you making, man.
Oh man, some Honey O'Day, some Southern barbecue, smoked barbecue, and some crab wings.
Ooh, you need to post a picture. Post a picture. Hey, when they done, seriously, post a picture on Speak On It, man. I want to see that. Can you post a picture for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Hey, Terrence, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I got ribs and chicken, everything going.
You got ribs and everything?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to see a picture of that on Speak On It, man. Post that. I'll definitely put it up there. I'm putting it on my page too. But post it, man, so we all can see what Terrence made for a game day food. All right?
All right, definitely got you.
Hey, you enjoy the games today, Terrence. Nice talking to you, brother. As always, love you, man. Thank you for being part of the show, man.
Hey, man, love you too, man. Thanks for having me on Speak On It, man.
Hey, definitely, brother. Appreciate you. Enjoy the games.
All right, you too, man.
Hey, that was Terrence. Terrence is definitely a big fan of the show. Man, I love that brother, man. That brother is definitely one of my best fans of the show. One of my good buddies. Love talking to him. He's definitely all about football. Definitely all about his teams. I love the way he speaks his mind about football. And I love the way you guys speak your mind about football, too. If you want to call in, definitely need to call in again, 512-539-0686 at Speak On It Sports, at NYG Men for Life on Twitter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to be a part of the show. I am closing the show right now. Guess what? I need to go get me something to eat as well. And I want to watch my New York Giants play today as well. I hope your team does well today. I love you guys. If you weren't part of the show, definitely lock that number in your phone. I'm going to say it again, 512-539-0686 at Speak On It Sports on Facebook, at NYG Men Life on Twitter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be a part of the show next time. I love you guys, and I'm out.